Hello, my name is Norma Reyes, and we're going to be reading the book Fire from the Rock by Sharon Draper. Chapter 1, Tuesday, January 1st, 1957. Yo, Mama, come quick! Donna Jean being beat by a dog. 15-year-old Sylvia Patterson screamed as she burst through the front door. Her hat had fallen off. She lost a snow boot someplace back on the sidewalk, and her breath escaped in short, harsh gasp. Sylvia had ever been so scared in her life. Her Aunt Bessie hurried up the steps behind her, struggling with the weight of the sobbing, shrieking 8-year-old in her arms. She paused on the porch to adjust the child's weight and to try to quiet her a bit. Shh, child. It's gonna be all right. Your mama's gonna make it better real soon. We are at your house now. That's a girl. Be brave now. Shh, shh. Donna Jean, tears turned into big gulps as she realized she was home. But as soon as she saw her mother running to the door, she started wailing again. Oh my Lord, how did this happen? The girl's mother looked upset, but her movements were surprisingly calm. She took the little girl into her arms and cuddled her as she rushed the child into the house and set her gently on the sofa. Rust-colored blood had stained her apron. It was one of Mr. Crandall's big old hound dogs. Mama, he came out of nowhere and just grabbed her leg, Sylvia cried. Run, go to get me some soap and water, towels from the bathroom, some rubbing alcohol, a bottle of iodine, and a box of gauze strips, Sylvie, her mother said calmly. Sylvia darted off quickly to obey, partly from fear and partly from not wanting to miss 1 second of the horrible drama that was unfolding in her living room. When she dashed back, her mother was coming to the little girl. It's all right, baby. It's just a little scratch. But her forehead had wrinkled into frown as she examined Donna Jean's leg. How did this happen, Bessie? Miss Patterson asked her sister. And Bessie sighed deeply as she took the alcohol and bandages from the still trembling Sylvia. I feel like it's my fault, Leola. But how was I to know that Cradle's full dog were loose? The girls were just waiting for me by the fence, and the dog turned around the corner like a train off the track. He wrapped his jaws around her leg before I could turn around. Oh, Lord, she put her head in her hands. Every colored person in Little Rock, Arkansas, knew all about Crandall's family and their vicious dogs. Mr. Crandall, the owner of a local barbershop, and Shirley, the meanest man in the country, had trained his dogs to attack Negroes. Sometimes he conveniently forgot to tie them up. All his friends probably thought it was really funny, but all the colored people thought it was terrifying. Last year, at least 5 people, all of the Negroes, had been beaten by one of his dogs. Crandall's wife, Aileen, was known as the most vocal segregationist in town. She and her friends, all of whom wore cat-eye-shaped glasses, Sylvia had noticed, protested vocally when the buses, the police force, and the university had been integrated. They had recently formed something called the Mothers Coalition to prepare the protesting against a possible school integration. The Crandalls had 2 teenage children, a thick-shouldered, crew-cut-wearing son named Johnny, who was an outstanding player on the Central High School football team, and a thin, pale daughter named Callie, who mirrored her mother in looks and attitude. Sylvia and the rest of her friends walked to school the long way rather than go past the Crandall's house. And Bessie should have known better. Sylvia thought angrily. She bit her lip, frustrated with herself as well. I should have known better too. With the spilling yellow paint and the sagging front porch, the Crandall's house looked dingy, but Mr. Crandall made it just plain frightening. His hair was greasy black and his eyes, even at the distance, looked dark and fierce. The local children whispered that he could cast spells with those eyes. Even though Mr. Crandall seemed to wear the same pair of work pants every day, he was known throughout Little Rock for his highly polished chestnut brown double-laced Oxford shoes with metal tops on the toes and on the heels. Folks said he special ordered those shoes from Houston, Texas. In addition, he made a point of wearing a clean white dress shirt every day. His wife never ironed them. However, he always hired women like Aunt Bessie to do his shirts. Today, he had taken 25 bright white dress shirts to him, bleached and starched so well they looked like little soldiers. Sylvia watched quietly while her mother worked on her sister, not sure if she should cry or throw up. She took deep breaths of the stuffy air in the living room, but she felt dizzy and enclosed. I just went to deliver his laundry, Aunt Bessie said, weeping as she helped her sister wash Donna Jean's wound. Some of the water in the basin, pink, and Digit's blood sloshed onto the carpet, and Digit's mother squeezed out the wash clothes. Why are you still doing laundry anyway? Sylvia's mother asked angrily. You've got a successful beauty shop. You don't need to be doing this. Bessie nodded her head and in agreement. I know. I shouldn't have taken the girls with me, but I promised them I'd treat. You know how much they love Mrs. Soccer's cookies. Donna Jean has stopped screaming and only cried out when she touched a particular tender area. You know, you are the only colored woman in Little Rock who will still do laundry for that fool, her sister said bitterly. You let him talk to you like you are a child and he only pays you 10 cents a shirt. Sylvia looked up and surprised. Her mother rarely showed anger against anyone, especially her own sister. You used to work for his wife, Aunt Bessie retorted. I went on time. Then, because she treated me like dirt, I refused to go back, like you should have years ago, her mother said flatly. Aunt Bessie's shoulders dropped. She had told the girls to wait for her outside Mr. Crowell's back fence while she collected her $2.50. Mr. Crandall always took a long time because he checked every shirt for brown marks or water spots before he would pay her. Hateful old man never finds any spots. He just likes to make Aunt Bessie stand there in the cold. Sylvia noticed her hands were squeezed into a fist.